And then today we are not only talking about studying abroad, we are talking about building a long-term future and career pathway in Germany. Germany is currently one of the strongest economies in Europe, and there is a huge demand for skilled workers in industry such as healthcare, hospitality, culinary, and nursing, right? So throughout our pathway vocational program, students can receive structured German language preparation, vocational placement support, visa guidance, and career opportunity in Germany. So our pathway is designed to make the process safer, clearer, and more secure for international students. Now, let me briefly introduce our company, Edunation. Our company, Edunation, is an international education company helping students access universities and vocational college across Europe. We support students from the very beginning of their journey, such as application process, language preparation, admission guidance, visa support, pre-departure preparation, arrival support in Europe. And our goal is not only to help students study abroad, but to help them successfully build their future internationally. And I would like to continue our company about like who we are. Our company, Edunation, is based in Tampere, Finland, and we are a team of more than 40 professionals working with students from around the world. We have experience supporting students from many different nationalities and educational backgrounds. And what makes Edunation different is that we continue supporting students beyond admission, and then we also guide students throughout the whole journey from application to settlement in Europe. So for many students, studying abroad can feel confusing and overwhelming. We know that, we understand that. That is why we structure guidance and reliable support are very important. Yes, we knew it. So I will continue our company profile. Yeah. And since 2017, Edunation has have more than 6,000 students from over 40 nationalities achieve their education goals. And we are also part of Keystone Education Group, which is one of the world-leading education platforms helping millions of students every year explore international education opportunities. So this gives students confidence that they are working with an established and trusted organization. So we can guarantee that. So for now, to continue the session and explain more about our vocational pathway and opportunities in Germany, I would like to hand over to my co-host, Bob.
Hi, Nin. Thank you so much for the introduction. Hi, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all our attendees from all across the globe. Please feel free to use our chat box in case you have questions. You can always put it in the chat box. To continue our conversation or our webinar for today, our company Edunation has a lot to offer. We have our Edunation's pathway. You'll have the guaranteed and successful undergraduate and postgraduate studies in Europe. Mainly, we are in partnership with universities from Finland, Germany, also from France and from Ireland. We also have the European vocational qualification, which is a direct path to a European recognized vocational qualification. We also have the regular admission, which is an easy way to apply to degree programs at European universities from the mentioned countries a while ago. And also we have the language courses where you can learn Finnish and English language courses for all levels from the basic to intermediary. And then finally, the pathway to vocational, which is your gateway to hands-on vocational education in Europe. And that's what we're going to talk about today, which is the pathway to vocational in Germany. Next slide, please. Thank you, Nin. So as Nin mentioned a while ago, our company Edunation is not just primarily doing a usual preparatory course, but a future structured from start to finish. As Nin mentioned a while ago, we are going to help you with the admission process from start to finish, meaning from the very first time that you have submitted your application, we will be assessing it, and then we'll help you get a placement and up to the very end where you settle in Germany. Next slide, please. Let me go through now the 3 steps to secure a future in Germany when choosing Edunation. So the first one is a structured pathway. Instead of figuring it out alone, you follow a proven route to a qualification that's recognized across Europe. So later on, we'll be explaining more about that structured pathway, how it works. Second is going to be a guided route. So before you arrive, we'll get you prepared from learning the German language that is required for the vocational course, and the school, the exams, and the on-the-job training. And then lastly is the 100% proven success rate. So we'll be able to help you prepare to get a placement with a German partner. We'll be arranging the interviews as well, and we'll make sure that the offers are being secured. So when you are doing your pathway, later on we will be discussing more about that. But just to give you a gist, when you are doing your once you are done with the pathway program with Edunation, we will be able to send you to Germany. That's where you'll be able to do your dual vocational training program, where you'll have the school where you'll have your theory for the dual vocational program, and the host institution where you'll be doing the actual on-the-job training. Next slide, please. So there are 2 ways to secure a future in Germany, but definitely there's only one of them that has certainty built in. Next slide, please. So let me just give you a brief comparison between a pathway of certainty with Edunation and a pathway of guesswork on your own. So if you're doing it with Edunation, you'll have the guided applications and document preparation. Just like what I've mentioned a while ago, from start to finish, we'll be able to help you with that. And when you're doing it on your own, you'll be applying to schools alone without any support from an experienced company like Edunation. You'll also have the full language training with exam coaching if you're doing it with Edunation. We'll make sure that you'll be able to reach the level that is required for the German language when you are doing the pathway program with Edunation. And if you're going to do it on your own, you'll have to pass the language exams without any support. And then thirdly, you'll have easier and more secure placement in German dual vocational training. So as I mentioned a while ago, when you're doing your vocational training, dual vocational training, you'll have a host institution, and we will be securing that for you when you're doing the pathway program with us. And then when you're doing it on your own, you'll have getting placed on your own in a German dual vocational training, which is going to be very tough if you're going to do it on your own. And then lastly, if you're doing the pathway program with Edunation, you'll have the visa transfers and city registration that's going to be handled by us, Edunation. So when you're already in Germany, our support does not stop there, right? Or we will be able to help you as well when you are already settling in Germany through the visa transfers and of course the registration, city registration, which will be done by us as well. And then if you're doing it on your own, you have to navigate visa, housing, paperwork alone. So hope that's quite clear between the comparison of doing the pathway program on your own and with Edunation. Next slide, please. Again, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat box and put your questions in there, and we'll be more than happy to address them accordingly. So why is it important, or why study in Germany? So as I mentioned, there's going to be a built-on training and backed by the state. Plus, the 18 months after completing the dual vocational training, which is from 3 to 3.5 years of duration. You'll have 18 months to stay in Germany and apply for permanent residency, which is available after 2 years after the dual vocational training graduation. Next slide, please. Let me discuss now the perks of studying in Germany. First is the structured dual vocational training. So as Nian mentioned a while ago, it's going to be a mix of practical learning and theory. It's a good thing that 70% of the time you'll have the practical work inside a company or the host institution that I was talking about earlier. That's going to be merely around 3 to 4 days that you will be doing your on-the-job training in host institution. And the other 30% would be theory in a vocational school. So that's going to be roughly 1 to 2 days in a week, which is regulate and these are regulated and standardized and recognized all across EU. Second is Germany is one of the most safe countries in the world. It's ranked 20th out of 163 countries on the Global Peace Index in 2025. And then it's also accessible training. It's an accessible training. So vocational training in Germany is free totally for everyone, including international students. There will be no hidden placement fees after the pathway. So we'll talk about more. We'll talk more about the fees and other related pathway fees that you need to pay as we go along. And then finally is the real experience, real companies. So as I mentioned, there's going to be a hands-on the job training, which is in established German companies, the kind of practical skill set employers across Europe trust. So when you're already doing your theory, whatever you're learning, you'll be able to apply it right then and there at the host institution. And next slide, please. I'm sorry, can you hear me now clearly?
Yes, we can hear you, Paul.
Okay, cool. I'm so sorry. Someone said it's a bit windy. Sorry about that. And then, okay, Ausbildung, Germany's dual vocational training DVT model. So it's a nationally regulated route that 1 in 2 German students chooses over university. As I mentioned, 70% of the dual vocational training duration will be highly practical. So it's going to be a 3 to 4 day per week of paid on-the-job training at an approved German company. So the good thing about this is, as I mentioned, there will be no fees at all to be paid when you are doing your actual dual vocational training in Germany. That is post completion of the 9-month pathway program with Edunation. So we will be arranging everything for you, the visa application process, all these. We will be securing a host institution for you when you arrive in Germany to make sure that you are going to have the on-the-job training at the host institution. And as I mentioned, there is going to be a monthly allowance that will be paid to you when you are doing your on-the-job training. Okay. And then secondly is, as I mentioned, 30% would be theory. So it's going to be just a matter of 1 to 2 days per week at a vocational school. Ideally, it will be held at the Berufsschule in German. And then, so one qualification, endless European possibilities. This dual vocational training will be recognized across Europe, not just in Germany. Yeah. So say for instance, you finish the nursing track, you graduate as a registered nurse, and that will be recognized not only in Germany, but across the European countries. So if you plan, say, to stay in Germany after some time of, after graduation, you plan to stay in Germany and work there, and then you decide to, say, jump into another European country as a registered nurse, then definitely you can do the same job because it's going to be recognized across the European countries. And then it's going to be a state. Okay, we have a question here from Moika. Is my OJT paid? Yes, your on-the-job training, it's going to be paid through a monthly allowance. Okay, so it's not going to be work at all. It's an on-the-job training while you are doing your dual vocational training program, and it's going to be a monthly allowance that you'll be receiving. We will deep dive into the monthly allowance, how much you'll be getting depending on the study track that you'll be choosing later on as we go along. I plan to relocate to Germany with my spouse and 2 children if an applicant has personal savings. Let me just answer this one for now. Secured to cover the standard German 2-year block. Right. At the moment, from Cheryl Ann Daklan, so she's inquiring if she can bring in dependents when she intends to join in the pathway to vocational. For now, we will. I mean, Germany does not allow dependents to be brought along with the students when they are doing the pathway to vocational in Germany. So after some time of staying in Germany, after completing the pathway to vocational, that's the time that you'll be able to really do the I mean to bring that you could bring your dependents with you. I hope I answered your question correctly. Yeah. So just to summarize, we are not able to process bringing in your dependents to Germany while you are doing your dual vocational training program. Okay. So yeah. Right. Okay. So next slide, please, Nin. Thank you. So as I mentioned a while ago, there are 2 tracks that you can choose from while you are doing your um, when you are doing your pathway to vocational in Germany. So the first track, which gives you a monthly allowance, again, it's going to be paid.
Sorry, yeah. We can hear now. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry. It's okay. So as I mentioned, let me read myself. So again, there are 2 tracks that you can do when you're doing the dual vocational training program. So the first track would be hospitality and culinary. So the available vocational courses would be chef or cook, restaurant and event specialist, and hotel specialist. So as I mentioned a while ago, there is going to be a monthly allowance that you'll be receiving while you are doing your dual vocational training. So that's going to be from your host institution. And for the hospitality and culinary track, you are going to get 800 euros to 1,000 euros per month. And when you are already doing or when you are already actually working, so for this particular job titles, you can earn as much as 2,000 to 2,500 euros per month when you're already progressing into a formal job eventually after completing your dual vocational training program. And the next track that you can choose, this is for those people who are looking to study nursing and healthcare. So good news is that, as I mentioned, there is this registered nurse title that you can, or program or course that you can get, and a caretaker and educator for special needs. The monthly allowance that you'll be receiving if you go for a registered nurse or caretaker and educator for special needs track is that you're getting 1,050 euros to 1,200 euros monthly allowance that you'll be getting when you are doing your on-the-job training from your host institution. And when you're already progressing to your career as a nurse or a caretaker, you are able to get 3,000 euros to 3,200 euros minimum monthly salary after completing your dual vocational training program. So yeah, hope that's clear. And if you have questions, again, please feel free to put it in the chat box and we'll be more than happy to address them real time if we can. So that's I think that's what I'm going to pass it over to Nin for more information about the dual vocation training program. Nin?
Hello, guys.
Nin, sorry. I think if you want, I can still.
Yes. You can continue, Bob. Yeah.
Okay. Please go to the next slide.
Okay.
Thank you. Hope I speak clearly. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what what is it, or why you should choose pathway to vocational? So again, it's cheaper programs, cheaper programs sell a course, but Edunation secures you with a future. So as I mentioned, it's going to be a clear route for you to be able to get a secured placement when you are done with our pathway to vocational training program. And at the same time, we are making sure that you are going to learn the language that is required for you to be able to get a placement and do your dual vocational training program in Germany eventually. Next slide, please, Nin. Thank you. So from your country to a future secured, preparation from the comfort of your home, then 3 years on the job training and studies in Germany. So let me just give you the timeline of this pathway to vocational in Germany. So if you are interested in applying for our upcoming cohort that starts in July this year, so you just have to count 9 months from July. So wherever you are from your country of residence, that's where you'll be able to start with the first with our German language learning. So you'll be able to learn the German language on the first 6 months of the pathway program itself. So that's from A1 to B1. So that's from basic to to intermediate level. So ideally here, you'll be having 20 hours of learning or week online studies per week, and that's going to build your foundation of the German language itself. So ideally, it's going to be 15 hours, which will be dedicated to learning the language per week, and then 5 hours of which mostly will be dedicated to your to a self-study pace. Okay, our instructors are or facilitators are very well knowledgeable are very knowledgeable in terms of the German language. So you'll be able to learn the language that is required eventually. But of course, just like you know, it's not going to be easy. I'm telling you now. You really have to commit 100% of your time. You should be determined to learn the language by heart. So it's not going to be an easy thing. Okay, so you really have to help yourself. Of course, our teachers, our facilitators will always be there to help you all the way. But at the end of the day, it's up to you how you'll be able to really apply it. Okay, and then secondly is the second part of it, which is the um, learning or progressing from A1 to B1 to the B2 level that is required for both culinary and hospitality and nursing track. That's another 3 months of learning the German language from B1 to B2. Same will be same structure, 20 hours per week online, and you'll be able to end with the B2 um, level of knowledge for the German language. And that's where also you'll have the examination or you'll do your German examination afterwards. That is during our second part, which is from, that would be most likely March of next year if you are going to start in July. And then third part would be from April to August of next year. Again, it's still in your home country. That's where you'll be able to get matched. So that's where you'll have the dual vocational training program applications. You'll have the interviews with the host institutions where you'll have your on-the-job training. And then that's where you'll be able to process your visa as well. And then that's where you'll have the pre-departure briefing with Edunation. And then fourthly would be arrive and start training. That's hopefully if everything goes smoothly as planned, with all your visa, everything that's already been processed from April to August of next year. Hopefully, between September to October of next year, you should be able to arrive or move to Germany and you'll be able to begin the dual vocational training program. And then finally, that's when you'll be able to complete your dual vocational training program. Estimate completion date will be in February 2031. That's going to be again in Germany. That's where you'll be able to secure your career and complete your dual vocational training program, which is an European recognized career in hospitality, culinary, nursing, or healthcare. I think we have a question here. What happens if I'm not matched? Right. Now, again, Edunation will be able to help you with regard to matching you to the right host institution. So we will be helping you with the interviews. In fact, we will be helping you with mock interviews as well. So you would know how to uh, respond to the interviewer when you're having your interview with the host institution. So there will be, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Nin, we will be able to secure 2 free interviews with them, right?
Yeah,
For the
we
host
can
institution.
do the 2 times already.
Yes, that's right. So two
Yeah.
times we will be securing, or we will be preparing you to have an interview with the host institution twice. So normally we would have, or applicants would, if they don't get the match, or if they don't get matched on the first interview, normally they're getting it on the second one. So that's the reason why we are here. Edunation will be able to help you all throughout. We'll make sure that everything goes smoothly as planned and that you get matched eventually. Yeah. But then again, let me just reiterate that when you are doing the pathway program with Edunation, it is very important that you religiously learn the language, dedicate 100% of it. Learning a different language other than your native language is really tough. I mean, it's not going to be an easy way. So you really have to make sure that you are dedicated, that you are committed to learning the language. That's one of the most important factors in order for you to pass the pathway program before you progress to the dual vocational training program. So there is no really easy way, but again, Edunation is always here for you guys to help you all throughout, all the way, and from learning the language all throughout the application process and the placement and securing a placement for the host institution, and again settling down or settling in Germany. Yeah. Next slide, please, Nin. Right. So your years in Germany, again, as I mentioned, there's going to be a certain amount of monthly allowance that you'll be receiving every month from your host institution while you are doing your on-the-job training with them, right? And the monthly allowance will be a big help for the students because that would serve as your means of sustaining your cost of living in Germany. Because normally, the estimated cost of living in Germany, just to give you an idea, that's going to be around 900 to 1,000 euros per month. So that covers your rent allowance, your housing allowance, your food allowance, transportation, your insurance, and other expenses. So your years in Germany, you'll have an exam twice a year. There's a full integration support and a career on the other side. And during the year one foundation, that's where you settle in. You'll be able to train with German partner, which is 3 to 4 days a week. Again, that's with the host institution when you're doing your on-the-job training. You'll be able to attend the vocational school. That's going to be 1 to 2 days. And then your first exam at the year end. Yeah. And then year two is when you choose your specialization. So that's you take on deeper responsibilities at work. So theory wise, it's going to be deep dive into theories. And then third year would be the qualification. So that's where you'll have the final practical and theory exams. You'll be able to graduate with a state recognized qualification. And then lastly is the after the dual vocational training program, that's a career in the EU ahead. So again, after completing your dual vocational training program from 3.5 years, you'll have the 18-month residence permit to find work, and you can stay in Germany, take your skills abroad, and then continue toward a master or a bachelor's. And then the next step is yours to choose. Again, feel free to put in the chat box if you have any questions. Thank you. I'm not sure if this was answered. Sorry. my God. Did you hear that? There's thunderstorm in our area. So I'm sorry if I missed this question earlier from Elizabeth Manu. Is there an age limit to qualify for the scholarship? Right. So we'll talk about further on the scholarship. Um, we have a golden ticket scholarship, which will help on the reduction of the overall fees. And it will be great if you can stay up to the very last part of the webinar. That's where we will be able to discuss this golden ticket scholarship, which will be handled by Nin. But for the age limit, good thing this was asked. So the age limit for you to do the pathway to vocational in Germany is 35 years of age. So that's 18 years. We require 18 years old up to 35 years old. On a case-to-case basis, we can accept students up to 40 years old, depending on the profile and the background of the student. So it's important that if you're over 35 years old and you want to do this program, you can share with us your CV so we can assess your profile and advise you accordingly. Yeah, thank you so much. Next slide, please. Okay, Nin, would you mind to take it from here? Thank you.
Yes, I will take care of the rest of the slides. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Bob, for explaining the vocational pathway and opportunities in Germany. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, I will continue quickly and shortly my session by discussing the investment, student life, admission requirements, and the application process. So now let's talk about the program investment. The normal program fees is 11,500 euros. However, there is currently a special offer price of 9,600 euros available until 21st June 2026. In addition, students who already have German language certificate can receive extra discounts. For example, A1 certificate holders receive a discount 600. So he need to pay only 9,000. So for A2 and B1 student receive larger discount. And then student with the B2 level can receive the highest discount. Another important benefit is students can also receive 3 months of free German B2 teaching. And we also accept payment installment and also available, which makes the program more manageable financially. So I will move to the next slide. Okay. As Both mentioned earlier in previous slide, for now, I would like to discuss the return on investment. So we got a lot of questions for that part, and most of the students and parents ask, is this investment worth it for the student by joining this DVD program? So this slide clearly shows the return on investment. And during your DVD vocational training in Germany, students receive monthly allowance. For hospitality and culinary, students can receive around 800 to 1,000 euro per month as allowance. For nursing and healthcare, students may receive around 1,050 to 1,200 euros monthly. After graduation, hospitality graduate may earn around 2,000 to 2,500 euro. So I will show the next slide. So I will mention the first the amount. So for the nursing graduate may earn around 3,000 to 3,200 euros monthly. This means that students can recover their investment within months after graduation. So we can say that this program is not only for education, this is also for a career investment. So this is the worded for the program. Okay, so let's talk about the financial security. So one major advantage of Germany vocational training system is financial security. Unlike many other countries, where students only spend many during studies. But Germany vocational pathway allow students to learn, gain work experience, and monthly allowance at the same time. So this made the pathway more and sustainable for many international students and families. So as I mentioned earlier, here's the salary after the DVD program. So for hospitality and culinary track, the student may receive and the student can earn around 2,000 euro to 2,500 euro per month. So for nursing and Heckel, student may earn 3,000 to 3,200 euro per month for salary after the on-job training program. So I will move to the next slide. Okay, here are the student life in Germany for the vocational student. So now let's look at student life in Germany. Most of the students usually experience modern student accommodation and vocational school. Here's the vocational school and safe settings and practical workplace environments. So, Germany offers a structured and organized lifestyle, and students gradually became independent while gaining international exposure. So, these are the picture for the student accommodation, vocational school, and the city life. Okay, so move to next slide. Okay, I think here we have the question, but we can move to the question and answer session to the live counseling session after this webinar. So our qualified counselor is waiting to discuss with you. So you can ask them by live counseling session. So I will move to the next slide. Okay. Here you can see the our part student says. So here we can see experience from the part student. Moving to another country is never easy. Student faces new language, new culture, new environment. Yeah, we know that we can feel it. But many students successfully build their future through determination and support. So the stories show that international students can truly adapt and succeed in Germany. So this is also the student testimonial from my previous students. So our past student often mention that, and we offer the reliable support and always helping and guiding, clear giving the guidance, and also helpful visa assistance and friendly counseling support and structured language classes. So those are the voices from our students for our Germany Edunation. So one very important point is that students feel alone through process, not only for the Germany program but also for every program in education. So we support continue from application until settlement in Germany. So we assure that. Okay, so this is the student placements in Germany. Students have already been placed in different federal states across Germany. You can also see that. And placement location depend on career fee, company availability, vocational school partnerships. So this also shows that opportunity exists across many regions in Germany. Okay, so we have shared a lot of our DVD vocational programs. So we will continue to our admission requirements for the pathway to vocational in Germany. Now let's discuss admission requirement for hospitality and culinary pathway. This is the general document for this track. Like students generally need high school transcript and certificate, passport, resume, and employment certificate, and additional educational certificate if available. And this is also a 100 euro admin fee to start the application. For the detailed process, we will also explain in our live counseling session. And you can also leave your question in our chat box. And these are the requirements for the nursing and healthcare pathway. Same like the hospitality and culinary, and high school document, passport, resume. But there is a special need for the educator program, and a bachelor degree is required if you were to try for the educate or something like that. However, for the nursing track itself, students do not need a nursing degree. So this makes the program accessible to many students from different backgrounds. So I would like to add one information for the nursing and eye care. Before that, board have also mentioned about the nursing and eye care. This is a really good program for the Germany. So this slide is very important for students interested in healthcare. Graduates become qualified registered nurse in Germany and across EU countries. So students gain practical experience during training inside healthcare organization. Again, students do not need a bachelor or nursing to enter this pathway. So this is the really good program for those students who are really interested in nursing courses. So we really recommend that. Okay, this is about the frequently question from my student. Now let's answer some frequently asked questions. I will not explain every question, but I will explain some frequently question. So most of the students often ask, how much money should I bring initially? So it is recommended to prepare around 1,000 euro to cover living expenses for first month expenses while settling down. And students also ask about daily life, which means life during the program include structural learning, workplace training, cultural adaptation, building friendships, and improving German language skills. So let's move to the next question. Okay, most of the students ask questions about blood account. Our counselor is always answering that question, in every session. Okay, so another common question I would like to answer is about blood account. For that part, it is depend on the placement structure. Some students may not need blood account, but students should always confirm based on their visa situation. Students also receive officially recognized vocational qualification after graduation. These qualifications are respected across Germany and Europe. So for the blood account, our counselor will answer in our live counseling session. Okay. Okay, this is the most common question for the education. Most of the students from the Muslim country, so they would like to know about that. So I would like to answer and I would like to give the clarification for that part. For Muslim students asking about culinary programs, so we must say yes. Student males, they need to handle pork products during practical training and examinations because no exemptions are made within the vocational system. So these are the clarification. So it is important for students to understand this before applying. Students may continue working in Germany, pursue higher education, explore professional group opportunities. Okay, so let's continue to the program. In the DVD program, what is the include and what is not the include in our DVD program? So the program includes an A or Java language class from A1 to B2 and online learning platform and vocational application preparation and interview preparation, visa guidance, pre-departure briefing, airport transfer arrangement, city registration support in Germany. So this structure support system is one of the biggest advantages of our pathway. So these are the include. So let's move to the what are not the include in our program. Uh, Students should also understand that additional possible expenses like flight tickets, accommodation, health insurance, visa fees, meals, and personal expenses, and exam retake fees if necessary. But as both mentioned earlier, you can do at least 2 times for the exam, for the interview preparation. And being financially prepared is very important before starting the journey. Okay, let's continue to the another slide. I want to mention that who is this program for? So our pathway is designed for students who want long-term career opportunities, are willing to learn German, and students prefer practical learning and want structured guidance. And the last thing in one internationally recognized qualification. So it is especially suitable for students who want a secure and supervised pathway into Europe. And this is also the estimated living expenses in Germany. So estimated monthly living expenses in Germany are around 992 euros. This usually includes rent, payment, and utilities, and food, health insurance, transportation, student service, personal expenses. Because students receive monthly allowance during vocational training, many students can partially cover their living costs. Okay, so if you are ready to start, now how can students begin? First, choose your preferred track like hospitality or culinary, if not nursing or healthcare, but both require German language. And second, as a second step, you can submit your application at admin fee to our Edunation. But I would like to mention again the application deadline is 21 June 2026. Okay. So please make enrollment as much as possible. Okay, so how can we find our track in 60 seconds? So we are here. So students who are unsure about which pathway fits them can complete the short questionnaire. This helps identify suitable track, intake level, preparation, and we can next step. Okay, here the Golden Ticket scholarship for the program. So there is also an opportunity to receive a scholarship voucher called the Golden Ticket. So selected student may receive up to 1,000 euro scholarship toward the program fee. Students need to fill in the form, get short links, receive the voucher if approved. So this is the requirement for the Golden Ticket scholarship. Okay, so now we reaching the end of today's webinar. So if you would like personalized guidance, we also offer free one-on-one counseling session. You can book your one-on-one counseling session through this email, counseling@edunation.com. So, and in the one-on-one session, you can discuss your academic background, your career goals, financial planning, German preparation, application, eligibility. Okay, we are always happy to have you. And as mentioned earlier, after today's webinar, we will also continue with our live counseling session. So please feel free to stay and ask your question with our qualified counselor. Okay, so if you want to apply, our application are open now. Students need to choose a track, meet admission requirements, pay the €100 admin fee, and you can submit application before the deadline. So if you are planning to study or build a career in Germany, this is very a good time to begin preparation early. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. We truly hope today's session help you better understand vocational pathway in Germany, career opportunities, student life, program structure, and future possibilities in Europe. And Germany offers not only education, but also real career opportunities and long-term growth. Thank you once again for your time. And now we are happy to continue with the live question and answer in our counseling session. We look forward to speaking with you individually. Have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, everyone. Okay.
Hey, hi everyone. Sorry to step in here. Please stay with us. We're going to open now the breakout rooms. So stay with us. We're going to have now our experts counseling. If you have any burning questions about this amazing product that we just put up today, stay with us. You're going to be matched. In 1 minute, we're going to be open out the breakout room. So you're going to see a pop-up in your app. And then our counselors are going to be there. We're going to have the names and the language that they speak. So you can choose or you're going to be matched. So stay with us.